This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Balu may not be too popular among cadres but claims to be the tallest Congress leader in the state. Speaks to NDTV Hindu about the tallest.
There is no top leaders as such. I am one of the tallest person in the state.
As schools blatantly violate the Speak Committee's recommendations, a parent in the city single-handedly fights for justice. The Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry will have to get ready for some serious questioning on Hassan Ali's links, with a nod for the procedure coming from the PMO. A separate hearing could mean a faster outcome on the 2G spectrum scam. Dr. Subramanian Swamy wants his case to be heard separately.
I personally feel that my case, if it is heard separately, I will be able to get Raja prosecuted by October-November.
The Madras High Court orders a CBI probe into alleged cheating by a Tirupur-based financial company. Over 48,000 investors are believed to be victims. The farmers of the state are the worst hit victims this election season. With the model code of conduct in place, access to subsidies is far-fetched. The Madras High Court questions the state government for the absence of a committee against sexual harassment for women in the police force. And there's no this and that. In a conversation with director Bala, he opens up about his latest comical venture, Avan Ivan.
இதில் பெரும்பாலும் நகைச்சுவை இருக்கு, கொஞ்சம் சீரியஸ் இருக்கு, கொஞ்சம் எமோஷன் இருக்கு, வயலன்ஸ் இருக்கு.
Good evening, welcome to News Tonight with me, Evelyn Matthew. A quick look at our national headlines as well. Heavy stone pelting between protesters and police in Maharashtra. A day after a protester's death, the government claims the Shiv Sena announces a probe. 5 are killed after a private chopper crashes while trying to land in Arunachal Pradesh. Will there be justice for 10-year-old Moin beaten to death by his employer? The government orders an inquiry after the outrage over child labour. A speeding car driven by a top corporate executive's son, critically injures a delivery boy, booked for drunken driving. The former HR head of Infosys says the unique position of the company declined due to conservatism. Indian women travelers are disgruntled with the new skirt rule for Grand Prix events. And Emperors of All Maladies by Indian oncologist Siddhartha Mukherjee wins the Pulitzer Prize. Our top story first. The TNCC chief KV Thangabalu may not be the perfect leader or mentor, according to a section of cadres of the Tamil Nadu Congress Committee. But the president of the state unit has been rallying on some good words from compatriots in Delhi after the expulsion of 19 functionaries from the party recently. He spoke at length about what went behind that decision and why he claims to be the tallest Congress leader in the state. With our executive editor English News, Sanjay Pinto, here's a portion of that interview.
Are you worried about losing your post as TNCC president, given the fact that many of the top leaders in the state have complained against you and have sought your removal? Are you worried?
First of all, I must say one thing. With due respect to all my colleagues, there is no top leaders as such. I am one of the tallest person in the state, number one.
Union Minister like Mr. P. Chidambaram, Mr. G.K. Vasan.
I value Mr. Chidambaram, Honorable Union Minister, Home Minister, and Mr. Vasan. They are my colleagues. I value both of them. Beyond that, there is no seniority over and above me.
You are very confident you will not be removed.
I am telling you, the question of removal doesn't come at this juncture. Whether to continue or not to continue, it is the prerogative of the Congress president.
Fair enough. Now you have organized a protest, I think, in front of about the Sri Lankan Tamil issue. The newspapers say that, in fact, the headline says the TNCC president wakes up to the Lankan cause. So is it to divert attention from the leadership tussle?
I am telling you, 7th July 2008, I was appointed as president. 9th July, I took over as president of the TNCC. 12th July, I was the first Congress political leader, not Congress, political leader in the state, opposed Sri Lankan government on the count of Sri Lankan fishermen. I met the former external minister Honorable Finance Minister now, Pranabji, I met him and discussed with him, and I wanted him to take appropriate action. I met Honorable Prime Minister. I met Delhi. I gone over to the Congress leader, Madam Sonia Gandhi. I went to the Prime Minister, myself, the Honorable Chief Minister.
So you are saying it is not an attempt to divert attention from the leadership struggle.
This has been I am doing for the last 30 years.
Mr. Ilagovan supporters say that you have deliberately kept him out of the seat sharing talks in that 5-member committee. And there was a lot of resentment, there was violence also in Satyamurthy Bhavan. His people protested, supporters protested.
I am telling you, I have not deliberately sent anybody out of this organization.
Seat sharing committee.
Seat sharing committee also, there are much more senior people than Ilagovan in the party. Mr. Kumari and the senior most leader.
They say he was voicing the view of the average Congress worker wanting power sharing for a long time.
I am telling you, this issue he cannot hold responsibility for everything for himself. He is a small fry in the party. He is not a
union minister.
He was one of the union minister. There are Mr. Prabhu is one of Mr. S.R. Balasubramanian was one of the former union minister. Jayanti was one of the former union minister. So like that one cannot take that only one man.
How do you call him a small fry?
I am telling you, this is a reality, and he cannot, because he is shouting slogan, he is just go on issuing statements against the party. He has done enough damage to the party than anybody else in the state.
And make sure you catch the rest of that interview at 9:30 tonight on Corridors of Power, right here on NDTV Hindu. Moving on, the Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry, Mr. Iqbal Singh, will be questioned by Enforcement Directorate officials over his alleged links to controversial businessman Hassan Ali. This after a sanction was sent out by the Prime Minister's office this morning. In 1997, Mr. Singh was a Rajya Sabha MP from the Congress party when he helped expedite a passport application for Mr. Ali. In a letter of explanation sent to Union Home Minister P. Chidambaram last week, Mr. Singh said that he asked for the passport to be granted on humanitarian grounds because he had been told that Ali needed to travel abroad urgently. Hassan Ali has been accused of stashing up to $8 billion worth of black money in foreign bank accounts. Now, looks like the 2G spectrum case will continue to be on Dr. Subramanian Swamy's mind till some concrete results come out of it. The Janata Party president now wants his case on the issue to be heard separately so that the process can be faster. Speaking to NDTV Hindu, Dr. Swamy expressed confidence about former Telecom Minister A. Raja and the other accused being booked soon enough. Also speaking about the assembly polls held in the state last week, he said it was difficult to comprehend the effect of the high voter turnout at this stage.
So, sir, your case is coming up in August in the Supreme Court regarding the electronic voting machine, regarding the receipt. So, what do you think will be the outcome of that hearing?
Well, I've already got an indication in the last hearing that the Election Commission has in principle decided to introduce voter receipt. They have to, because I had pointed out to the court earlier that there is an Information Technology Act which requires any electronic voting machine receiving an input from any citizen of India to give him a receipt. That's why ATMs have to give you receipt. And therefore, I think on 26th of August will be a final hearing, and they have set up some expert committee, and that committee report would be there. And after that, I will 26th probably get a court order.
So do you think that will actually help in curbing the malpractices that goes around during election time?
It will become very much more difficult, because the kind of coordination that would be necessary for the voter slip and the bogus voting to be in synchronization will be very, very tough. So I think the probability of fraud will be very small.
And sir, how happy are you with the process of the 2G case, the pace at which the 2G case is going?
I am very happy with the way it is going and the amount of material that's already come on record. I was of the view that we should go in small doses, take 2-3 politicians in the beginning. I wanted Raja, Kannimozhi and Karunanidhi, and then later on more people added on. But the CBI has brought in Raja alone and brought all these industrialists who have hired the best lawyers in the country, and they are all, from their behavior, seem to be, very anxious to see that every little document is provided to them in the form they want. Now, that's fair enough on their part because of their clients' interest. But I think it is going to delay matters. So therefore, I personally feel that my case, if it is heard separately, I will be able to get Raja prosecuted by October, November, because I have no other accused. And then I can add others.
What do you assess of the high voter turnout in the assembly polls recently?
Yes, there's a lot of interest in this election, but both sides have mobilized. The 2G has made people mobilize, ADMK has mobilized a lot of people. But more surprisingly, the DMK has also used these local NGOs to mobilize people. So it's very difficult to say what the turnout will be, what the effect of the turnout will be on the result.